starting to travel a bit more. I don't know if you guys had heard about this, but this is a new law that came into place. I tend to support it. I think it's a good idea. You're no longer allowed to bring emotional support animals onto an airplane. I think that's overall a good move. But I love the emotional support animal on the airplane conversation because it's such a great generational divide, right? Young people love it. Young people today are like, no, we need them. We're all stressed out all the time because of Jeff Bezos and Instagram. And whereas old people are like, yeah, young people today are pussies. Don't compliment yourselves too much. We're all pussies, by the way. I don't know where this thing came from that just because you're older, you're tougher. Like, old people today, we weren't tougher. The only generation that could say, oh, we were tough was like World War II and shit. Like, we went through wars, we had Great Depressions, all this other shit. They were tough. All these people were like, like the 60, 70-year-olds today, like, back in my day, we were tough. Like, no, your parents were tough. Well, we were tough too, though. We were born into a thriving middle class. That comes with its own set of problems, you know? You have to decide exactly how fat and docile you want to become. Here's the thing, man. I don't think anybody gave a shit about emotional support animals on airplanes when it was dogs. No one cared when it was just dogs. Oh, man's best friend, bring him on the plane, right? Then people started wanting to bring snakes and shit. And people were like, no, you can't bring the name of a movie onto a plane. That's a terrible idea. I saw somebody wanted to bring an emotional support owl onto a plane. An owl. Look, guys, I get it. Flying is stressful. It sucks from top to bottom. No one enjoys it. If you're flying somewhere, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. Doesn't matter what time of day your flight is. If you don't wake up at 5, you miss the flight, right? Then when you get to the airport, nobody works for an airline anymore. You have to print out your own shit and put your own baggage tags on. Then you got to put it on a conveyor belt, press a couple buttons and go, well, I hope it gets across the country. Right? Then you got to go through security. Nobody understands metal detectors at all. Did you ever get behind some asshole in security who has to go through like 3 times and the security guard's just like, do you have any metal in your pockets? Like, well, my keys. Well, are they metal keys? Or are they wooden keys that you use to open an enchanted oak tree? What the fuck is going on, man? Do you see the line behind you? This is insane. We're coordinating fucking flying metal machines lifting from the ground. You're holding it all up. Right, then you gotta find your gate. Do you ever get a boarding pass where under gate it's just blank? Just like you figure it out, man. We don't even know. Just you find it. Right, then you get to your gate and you're like, oh wait, I don't have a seat. You go up to talk to the person. It's like, oh yeah, we oversold the flight, so we'll try and get you on. That's their thing they love to say. We'll try and get you on. Like, what do you mean I don't have a seat? I bought a ticket. Yeah, you bought a ticket, but you didn't buy a seat. Well, I'm sorry. I kind of thought the seat was implied with the ticket purchase. Am I serving drinks up there? Do you have an extra uniform for me? Right, then your gate gets changed, your flight gets delayed or it gets canceled, then you land in a new airport, you gotta discover and figure out that whole place and that whole city. The whole thing sucks. It is stressful from top to bottom. In what part of anything that I just mentioned do you think it gets easier and less stressful by adding a fucking owl into the equation? I find when I'm stressed out, I really like to wrangle a bird of prey. I like how its head moves all the way around.